Welcome back to the podcast. What movies do you like? It's me, the Cup. Jason is a Cup, and I'm joined by, who are you?
Mac.
Okay. I guess you are that.
You asked, and that's my name.
Sorry, I have dementia. I get dementia, every 5 seconds.
Does it double? Are you doubling it given to yourself, or
Who are you? This is already a great start. Today we are going to talk about well, for the intro I was thinking about talking about the Oscars because that just happened. Or at least during the recording it happened 11 days ago. And then we'll talk about the two movies we got, which are Her and To Wong Foo, Thanks for Everything, Jolie Newmar. It's so weird how I pick a movie with a long title and you pick a title with just one word.
Yeah. And one of them is very gay, and one of them is very straight.
Her would have been a 10 out of 10 if it was gay.
If Scarlett Johansson
if
was
Joaquin
voiced
Phoenix Wait, you mean if Scarlett Johansson was voiced by Dwayne Rock Johnson?
No.
It's cool.
The worst movie of all time. Shoot. He's literally me. What is his name?
I think. Do you want to be Scarlett Johansson?
No. Who's the actor? That's literally me, bro.
Are you talking about Christian Bale?
No, I mean the one that everybody's
No, Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling.
Ryan
if
Gosling.
Ryan Gosling voiced Sam instead of instead of Scarlett Johansson, it would literally be.
Alright, so why don't we talk about the Oscars, because we actually watched it together. Mac and I watched it with Robbie and Jeremy, who Robbie's my brother and Mac's boyfriend, and Jeremy is just a friend of ours. And why don't we talk about it? Why don't we talk about some stuff? You want to lead the way? You want to start with saying something particular, Mac?
Wow. They need to pick better people for the comedy section. They need to pick better host.
Jimmy Kimmel needs to go away forever.
Oh man, we tuned into the stream and listening to Jimmy Kimmel for 15 minutes straight was exhausting, bro.
Yeah. It was so annoying because he was just talking about it.
He made
There's
a
actually,
joke about Robert Downey Jr.'s past drug addiction, and it was okay.
There was also a clip that somebody found where he joked about Poor Things being nothing but sex, and somebody found out that Emma Stone secretly said he's a prick.
It's because she's so real. She's the realest actor in Hollywood. Of course she would say that.
Based Emma Stone
Can Emma
woman.
Stone get an award for realest actor in Hollywood?
I don't know. That'd be a weird category. Speaking of stones, what were your thoughts on the whole Emma Stone versus Lily Gladstone thing?
I didn't know where that was going. I was like, huh?
Yeah, let's talk about rocks.
Speaking of stones,
No.
in the Bible, Stephen was stoned to death by the Pharisee.
He got fucking murdered. Anyways, back to the Oscars.
I don't really feel like you should call it a versus, because.
Well, it was just mainly because that was the main two actresses that people were just either these two are winning. It would have been really funny if just Sandra Hübler would have just stole it instead. It would have been really funny.
Jodie Foster.
But she wasn't even in that category, but that would have been really funny.
Jodie Foster gets in and everybody's
Out of for no reason.
They're is this another a Moonlight situation? They go check. Nope.
Wait.
Jodie Foster won fair and square.
That would have been so funny.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's such an interesting debate. When the Oscars happened, my Twitter for 2 days straight was just nothing but talking about that in particular. Nothing else about the Oscars, just that. And it feels weird because both the performances were really good. in their own ways. Emma Stone is definitely the more flashier performance. I mean, no matter what, with the character of Bella Baxter, it was going to be a more flashy performance, but regardless of that, Paul Gladstone's much more of a subtle performance. What you like just mainly depends on what you want to see in a performance, but I think both would have been fine.
I haven't seen either of the movies yet, but I have heard that they both had like really good performances. So I don't know.
They're both
really,
was a very
like gracious winner about it.
Yeah. She was just like, Lily, this is yours. Take it. I don't want it. What if she just threw it at her?
Take it.
I don't want this. Okay, one weird thing is that for the acting awards in particular, they made it so unnecessarily long for the acting nominees. Because for every other Oscars, they just have like one presenter, but this time they decided to have like 5 actors who have won in their respective categories. So like Brendan Fraser was one of the presenters for Best Actor in a Leading Role. Kiwi Kwan was one of the presenters for Best Actor in a Supporting Role, etc., etc. It was so weird how they did it because it felt so long.
5 past winners of like the best whatever actor, and it's like, and then they would say a small piece about the actor that they've probably never met in their life. It's like,
I will admit though, Nicolas Cage going like, would I've done the same thing that Paul Giamatti did in Holdovers? Yes, I would. That was probably the only funny. Yeah, give Nicolas Cage 2 Oscars. He deserves it.
People make fun of Willy's Wonderland because they take it too seriously when they watch it. Which is really funny to me because like, look at the movie you're watching. You're taking this as like, they seriously
it's
wanted
just
to
like
make
Five Nights at
really
Freddy's at Home.
Five Nights at Freddy's Home.
And
they're like,
that was.
They're like, they couldn't afford to have him saying any lines. Bro saw the script online, was like, I want to be in this, but I don't want to talk. I want to be a silent character.
I just
think that would be
really
cool.
want to shut the fuck up. Please don't make me speak. For the
I don't
want
to speak anymore. And then they were like,
what were your
really funny. Let's do it.
What were your thoughts on Oppenheimer taking the Big Boy Awards this time?
I think it didn't deserve it. I think it was like, alright, I guess. I
enjoyed Oppenheimer. I would have preferred Poor Things taking the cold sweep, the clear sweep, or whatever. But I mean, it's not a bad pick. It's just I know a lot of people consider that like their favorite movie of 2023. So at the very least, it wasn't like a Green Book situation where nobody was happy. But yeah, I would have preferred like Poor Things or even The Zone of Interest, even though it only got like 5 nominations. Speaking of which, have you heard that like there's been a lot of people trying to denounce Jonathan Glacier's speech of when he won? Well, he didn't win it because directors don't win Best International Feature Film. The award doesn't go to them. But when he gave the speech, he like, yeah, they're like trying to denounce that or something. And like I read it and I was like, this is insane.
Like, who was trying to denounce it? The Oscars or like?
I think it's like actors, but honestly, I've heard that like fucking anybody can like like say they denounce it. So it's like I don't know what the hell's going on, but it's just like really funny.
Wait, Jonathan Glacier was the guy that got up there and talked about Palestine, right?
Yeah, he's a director of The Zone of Interest.
It's really weird that the actors would try to do that. Because I feel like most actors are liberal.
Well,
it's kind of a generalization.
There's been. I was gonna say, there's been plenty of like liberal people that have like kind of taken the whole situation with Israel and Palestine, going like, well, Israel has a right.
Yeah, that's fair.
So even though it's stupid as hell, I am not surprised at all.
There are two, the 2 most liberal actors ever, I think, are Mark Ruffalo and who's the guy that plays Olaf? Plays Olaf in Frozen. Josh Gad.
I don't.
Josh Gad.
I mean, the Academy has had a. has had a history of like whenever somebody speaks out about something, they're just like, no, no, shut the fuck up, shut up.
He can't say that.
Like, I remember the director of Bowling for Columbine, a documentary that won, best documentary feature.
Yeah.
He talked about he criticized the U.S. for their involvement in the Iraq War at the time, and there was a bunch of people booing him, like a bunch of people at the stage booing at him. And I've already talked about how I forget her name, but like when she was presenting for the guy in The Godfather who won Best Actor, and talked about how like I'm sorry, I cannot speak. I know the word, but I cannot fucking pronounce it. And then in these, fuck, I am so fucking stupid right now. Hold on, give me a second. I have this problem where, like, if I don't already know the word, I cannot fucking pronounce it to save my life. Indigenous people. There we go. I don't know why it took me so long to fucking say that. Yeah. Sorry about that. But when she spoke out about that, people got pissed off at her. Like, they've had a history of that, so.
And you know,
one last thing I wanted.
Chris Rock makes a G.I. Jane joke, and then
Will Smith got fucking crazy, but that's like kind of in its own different league, because it's like, it's not like talking about like world life like events. Yeah, which is really funny. One last thing I want to mention: it is so bullshit that fucking War's Over short film won Best Animated Short Film. I fucking joke. I made a joke about that winning last episode, and it actually won. Like, it's crazy. I actually watched it, and it was easily, without any contest, the worst pick out of all of them. Literally every other fucking pick would have been fine. Yeah. I would have preferred, out of all of them, 95 Census to win, because that was
this is what happens
interesting.
When you're really rich and you have a son, and you just let him have free reign of money, and he makes stupid stuff like that.
Okay, I want to spoil the ending of that short film, so like, okay, if you like give a shit about this short film and don't want it spoiled, I mean, it's like 10 minutes long, so but if you want to watch it for yourself, just skip at this point, it's not going to take long. Okay, so like in the short film, like, the whole thing is like, okay, so it's like a chess, but it's like, it's set in an alternative timeline where World War II, like, it's still going on despite the fact it never feels like that. Not the point. So the whole thing is like a Nazi, and I don't know. They just like drop you in. So the whole thing is like, the first half of it is like a guy who's like fighting for like the good guys and a Nazi are playing chess without knowing it. So they're like sending this bird back and forth saying like where they're moving and shit. And the second half of that is just a battle. So what happens is during the battle, one of the guys, he gets a note that the war is over, and then the bird, who's been like setting the chess pieces, gets caught in the battlefield, gets like blown up by a grenade and dies, and because they have the bird delivered a note that war is over. And as soon as they read the note, that's when they play the fucking song of "So This Is Christmas." It's the most like cheesy and stupidest way they could have made it. It never felt like it was Christmas, despite the fact that there's like snow everywhere. They never mentioned that it was taking place during Christmas time. But okay, that was really funny, and I fucking can't believe that won. It was the cheesiest film that could have won, and it fucking, God.
And then, son of John Lennon and Yoko Ono gets up there, and he's like, I want to wish Happy Mother's Day to my mom, Yoko Ono, because it's Mother's Day in the UK right now. And it's like, shut up, get up the stage, who cares about her, bro? She screams in public, and it's called performative art. It's like, oh.
The only other win that I found kind of weird was American Fiction getting Best Adapted Screenplay. I mean, I've seen the film. The film is like it's good, it's decent, but best adapted screenplay, no, hell no. I think like literally any other pick. Well, actually, I don't fully remember the nominees, but I think most of the other picks would have been fine. I honestly thought it was going to go to Barbie. Like I genuinely thought Greta Gerwig was getting her first Oscar, but nope. I should have saw it coming because it did also win, and at the BAFTA awards,
Yeah.
it also won it for that.
Should have been Barbie. I'm
Could have been Barbie,
in
Oppenheimer.
the amount of Oppenheimer awards compared to the amount of Barbie awards, but
You are such a feminist.
I just think the movie was better. It was like
Yeah,
2 hours of
I get that.
dialogue, like 5 minutes of waiting around for the bomb to explode, 30 seconds of a bomb exploding, and then like even more dialogue.
There's backshots in the movie.
That was like the worst part. No,
Dude,
wait, the worst part
tell
of the
me
movie
to-
is whenever he's like in that conference room, and then for no reason he like Florence Pugh is riding him.
that's meant to like that's like
It
meant
was
to
like,
be like
whoa.
metaphorical. He just like appears. What if that was like actually happening? He was just like butt ass naked.
She died like 30 minutes before this in the movie, though, right?
Nuh-uh.
Or maybe right
Nuh-uh.
before that. I don't know, but she was dead.
You wanna get into the the movie recommendations
Yeah,
now?
I'm tired of looking at Jimmy Kimmel's name on the Google.
Fair enough. So let's go alphabetical. Let's start with the movie Her.
Oh wait, Boy in the
this was
Hair
your
and
pick?
Animated Feature win. Woo. Okay.
Yeah,
Bo-
would have
now
preferred
we can
Robot
go to Her.
Dreams, but whatever. Yeah. All right. So since this was your pick, Mac, I figured you could probably introduce it.
Okay, so there's this guy, right? Theodore Twombly. Great name. And he's alone, you know? He's like, I'm really sad, but I have to write love letters and stuff at my job. And then he gets this cool new AI, and he's like, wow, she sounds hot.
She kind of bad though.
Yeah. She's like really funny, actually. And I love
She has a
her.
unique personality.
And she's her. Roll credits. That was a really.
That, congrats.
It doesn't capture the movie at all. It's listed as romance sci-fi, but I feel like it's not really meant to. It's not really meant to be a romance.
I thought you were gonna say
It's more of
romantic
like
comedy.
It's more of like a commentary on technology and AI.
Yeah.
Surprisingly accurate for 2013.
Yeah, we were talking about this earlier, but we talked about how we wonder if the director and writer of this film, Spike Jonze, I wonder if like he's just like thinking right now, like, what the fuck, because this is a movie that's like horrified, like it's horrifying of how like relevant it is.
Yeah.
Like it should not be as relevant as it is.
Yeah, cause like nowadays people are downloading AI girlfriend boyfriend apps and like paying money to like get the like dirty talk features, and it's like, huh? That's crazy.
I mean,
That's
according to that
insane.
CNN article or whoever, or whatever, it's we're a year away from having sex with robots. So get
Extremely
ready.
depressing.
Get ready. So to get into the actual movie, though, this film was definitely a lot to take in. At least for me, after I was done watching it, I couldn't even comprehend what I
love
just
Amy
like
Adams.
witnessed.
In this movie,
Amy Adams superiority, supremacy.
the character is just named Amy.
Yeah, they were like. You think Jones was just like, okay, her name's Amy.
Chris
Amy
Pratt
Adams?
is here,
Amy
and he
Adams.
was great too. I loved his character. Really silly guy. Man.
Really, he was a really silly guy. He
I-
gets pussy.
Yeah, he does. A lawyer.
Yeah.
I completely forgot because I hadn't watched this movie in like I don't know 3 or 4 years probably. I completely forgot he was in it. And then I was watching it, and it's like close to the beginning, we're looking at Theodore here with Keen Phoenix, and then all of a sudden this guy starts talking, and I'm like, that sounds exactly like Chris Pratt.
Wait a minute, that's Mario!
And then we see him, and it's Chris Pratt. I was like, oh, it's Chris Pratt.
Yeah. I knew this film was going to be something really interesting right from, like, it's always great whenever the opening of a film, like the first thing you see, is really, really engaging, because you just see, because it just immediately opens. You hear Joaquin Phoenix just talking about love and shit, and you're just like, okay, and later it just reveals that that's just for a no, that he is not actually fully meaning what he's saying, and it's just oh,
yeah,
well,
he's not saying
damn.
this to anybody. He's saying it to his computer screen because someone is paid for this letter.
Immediately clear about how he's just a little incel boy.
Yeah. I really I guess we can get into what we like, what we dislike about the movie now, or I guess we're already doing that.
I mean, we are. You've been doing that.
Yeah. I like the coloring so much.
The film does have really good coloring, and overall the production design is really good.
Yeah, all the interiors, even
this film had really good interior design. I love the
filled with colors, mostly primary colors, nice and bright and interesting design. I really like the color panel windows in the office. That's
cool. The color panel windows in the office were so
that.
Honestly, yeah, let's bring that back if that was ever a thing.
And then you see the outside, and everything is so gray most of the time, except for towards the end when they're out,
just
on vacation. And it's which I looked it up while I was watching the movie. The outdoor shots were taken exclusively in LA and Shanghai, China, and I'm like, yep. that
makes so much
sense.
The
smog.
I actually read. You know that scene where they find the airplane that's upside down, the upside down airplane, I think.
Yeah.
I actually read, and of course this makes sense because this is really hard. This would be really hard if they did do it practically. That is entirely CGI, and I'm thinking man, that is really really good looking CGI. Holy damn.
The entire CGI budget was right there, and then the video game scenes.
Yeah, the video game scenes were also really. Honestly,
Spike
this film
is
really
that
good in
guy,
general.
By the way.
yeah, I read that. Voice is the little shit.
Why is that guy so mean for no reason?
Yeah, he's such a bitch. I'm pretty sure they revealed that he's had a pretty bad past, but it was a one-off thing. Yeah, I think this film could have had a really good chance of winning Best Production Design if it wasn't for the fact that I think the film Gravity came out the same year, and that was taking home the big techie awards.
Yeah.
I really, really love the score to this film. It has a very quiet feeling to it. I mean, listen, I'm a slut for the piano. I love the piano so much, and when there's a really good, and this film is mostly just piano. Not it's exclusive just that, but there's a lot of piano in it, and I love it.
Yeah, the music's really good. The coloring is perfect. It's my favorite.
I don't even remember
songs ever is in this movie, and it was made for this movie.
The Moon Song.
Yeah, the Moon Song. Plays on the ukulele.
It's really short in the film.
Yeah, which in the credits.
It was also weird.
Karen O, the writer of the song, she sings it in the credits, and that's a much better version, I think.
Okay. Alright. Yeah, it was actually weird, because I usually these, best original songs, they usually go to, songs that, play in the end credits.
Speaking of
especially
Oscars, sorry, continue.
Especially in, live action films, most of the best original songs are just from, the end credits and stuff. Not that's a bad thing, but, I kind of like it more when you hear the song in the movie. Go ahead.
Speaking of Oscars, this song was snubbed.
It was snubbed.
Let It Go
I mean,
from Frozen got the Oscar.
let's be honest. There was no way in hell that song was not gonna win. That song was
Idina
everywhere in
Menzel,
2013.
she has a great voice, and she's very talented, but there's no way that song beats Moon Song for Best Oscar.
Dude, are you also telling me that Happy by Pharrell Williams shouldn't have been nominated in that?
It definitely should not have been nominated. That's the worst song of all time.
I can't remember what won Best Original Score at the 2014 Oscars instead of her. I know it wasn't her. Maybe it was Gravity, but I don't know. Let me look it up real quick. Let's see. What was the Best Original Score? It was Gravity. It took them all the big techie awards. I was thinking like, okay, maybe I'm like misremembering. Nope, it's Gravity. It was all Gravity. Anyhow, what were your thoughts on Joaquin Phoenix's performance in this film?
It was really good, I think. Cause like
it's definitely a lot more of a subtle performance of his compared to like something like Gladiator or recently Napoleon, where he's just like acting like a little like baby bitch.
Yeah, it's more of like it's more in the face for this one, I think, and he really perfected it.
I really found this film.
Stuff.
Yeah, I kind of think back to like certain scenes where where I particularly remember his face during it, and it was like the more I think about it, the more he gave a really good performance. I don't know, maybe like top 5 of the 2013, but mainly because I haven't watched a lot of 2013 movies. Maybe it was better than Matthew McConaughey. That's who won in 2014 Oscars for Dallas Buyers Club, I think.
Yeah.
Man, the Academy made so many mistakes during that. They gave Jared Leto an Oscar. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Anyhow,
I don't think he's done anything Oscar worthy.
I mean, he was really good in Requiem for a Dream, but like everyone was really good in Requiem for a Dream.
Yeah, that's fair.
Anyhow, I think the main thing is what makes this film interesting is probably the big obvious one, the dynamic between Joaquin Phoenix and what was the name of the what was it
Samantha?
Stephanie? Oh, Samantha. That's what
yeah. Samantha and Theodore Twombly.
There, what a pair. I want to just briefly talk about it, like explore more of it in the spoiler discussion. But for now, I think what makes this film so interesting is just like how increasingly like weirder it gets by every interaction.
Yeah.
Because at the beginning, like Joaquin Phoenix, even himself, I keep calling him that. I should start calling him Theodore. Even Theodore's just like, okay, this is weird, but I'm gonna roll with it. I'm gonna see how this goes.
This is weird, but I'm horny, so
I'm desperate.
Going through it.
And then, like, as the film gets more and more like weirder, like every interaction they have. I think it's also mainly because like half of their interactions are like really quiet and like one take shots. Like the camera never like pans or like moves or cuts. They're all just like a long take.
Yeah.
And it's just.
And their dialogue feels pretty like genuine. Like they're just like two people talking, you know.
That's like the like scary part of this movie. Like, and it's like where I start thinking about it.
Yeah.
Like, man, would AI get like this advanced where it feels this genuine to talk to it? Like, you could genuinely work a relationship with it. Like regardless of what you think personally, I think that's
like the AI text to speech like advancements that have been happening, and like the AI like song stuff. People have like plugged the song into AI, which isn't the same at all because that's just like a person's like a AI recognized like person's like speech patterns being placed over the like the original singer's vocals, so it's not really changing much. It's just changing the voice. But
her would have been a 10 out of 10 if she started turning to Mr. Crab and sing the Billie Jean, the best AI song ever. And yeah, that's what makes this film the most engaging aspect to it. I'm so glad this film got like best original screenplay because like if this film didn't have a good screenplay, literally everything about it would have fallen apart. There would have been it's like the writing is it's like the glue that holds it together, and it's a film that really leaves you thinking afterwards. It like even by the end you're just like thinking like man.
Honestly, wait, that's kind of spoiler. I'll save that for later.
Okay. If you insist.
It might be a little hot take too.
Ooh, Mac's got a hot take.
Find
out next time. You have to pay to watch this to hear the hot take.
Oh, we're gonna pull a
$5 a month,
and we do Sleep Deprived podcast, and like the first 30 minutes goes on YouTube and like Spotify and everything. But to get the full hour, you had to subscribe to the Patreon. Actually, never mind. They're not doing free podcasts anymore. It's only on Patreon now, starting like yesterday. No, Tuesday, but
ooh. You hear that? Sleep Deprived fans, you gotta pay to get your you gotta pay to watch your shit,
I already
bitch.
was on the Patreon, so
fair. Going back to her.
Going back to the podcast.
It's just yeah, to the podcast you're currently watching right now instead of a better one. Fuck. I feel like I should have had like something in mind to talk about when I was saying like to get back to the podcast because I just immediately like blanked out.
Well, like I think that in a way, I think that it's almost an interesting visualization of like a long distance relationship. Cause you know, like there's like a part where he's like, Chris Pratt's like, hey, you know, like, you and Samantha, you guys should come hang out with us sometime. We can go like mini golfing or something. And he's like, oh, she's an operating system. And they're like, oh, cool.
Yeah, like the way Chris Pratt delivered that too was so funny. He's like, oh,
great.
Oh, that's cool.
But it's like, dang, that's so real. Olivia Wilde's in there. It's like a bit of a cameo.
Oh yeah, she was the blind date.
Dude, that scene was crazy. She was crazy.
It was really crazy.
She's like all over.
I mean, she already looks a little goofy.
Yeah. Yeah, the way she like, I don't know, like the look in her eyes in the movie is like crazy. I feel like she did a good job in that scene.
What are you? If there's one thing I really appreciate about this film and what it did with the story is that the film makes it clear from like the first 15 or 20 minutes that Theodore is currently recovering from a breakup / divorce.
Yeah.
I was gonna say divorce, but they weren't like officially divorced until like later on into the film. I like how this film made it so you can fill the dots yourself instead of having like pointless flashbacks to their relationship.
Yeah.
In order to understand why it didn't work.
I'm glad this movie wasn't made in 2024 or 2023, so we didn't get a scene where Catherine goes, "I don't love you anymore, and I want a divorce because of this, this, and this." I'm glad that we actually get to like use our brains to figure out why.
Are you referring to a movie in particular where that happens?
So
or
many
is that,
movies.
like,
Avatar: The Last Airbender live action series.
Oh.
So my balls.
Ooh.
I don't have, but
Fuck you, Avatar. I hate blue people.
Whoa.
I fucking hate them.
Whoa, cut that out, cut that out. Let me get the time to
No.
35 minutes. Okay. Canceling you live at the Oscars.
At the Oscars, not on the internet, but live at the Academy.
Live at the Academy.
And you just pull like the scene from Joker.
I'm gonna get another terrible comedian to come on stage and make a joke about it.
All right. If that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on Theodore as a character? I guess that's like the last like spoiler-free thing before we get into spoilers we could talk about. What are your thoughts on like Theodore himself as a person, since he's like the main
he's really
central
complex, but it's like he's really a sensitive like emotions guy, but he needs to do a little growing on that too, though.
Yeah, he's a very he has good intentions, but he also kind of looks like he hasn't showered in like a month.
Okay, I'm about to do another hot take that you said that.
Ooh,
I thought that this was the movie.
two hot
I
takes.
thought this was the movie where he looked the hottest.
Oh, you hear that? What's that movie where he looks really hot?
The Joker.
Signs fans.
Signs? Let me look at him in Signs. Hold on.
He's not. I want to call him like that attractive in Signs. It's just.
Why did I just Google signs? I'm saying road signs. Okay. Signs. Wait, hold on. Signs of worms and dogs poop? That's not what I want to Google.
You are currently waiting.
No,
for
he looks like a.
Mac.
He looks like a 40-year-old dad in this movie.
Well, he's a brother of a dad.
He's an uncle?
Yeah.
He looks like an uncle. But not in like
Right.
a cool way.
Alright. We should probably now get into spoilers because we're getting into redundant stuff, so
I think it's because he doesn't have
you
facial
cool with
hair,
that?
but yeah. I think that he should have facial hair. And he's got that little mustache in this movie, and it looks good on him.
Yeah. You ready to get into spoilers?
Yeah, we'll get into spoilers.
Alright, people who haven't seen her, we are going to spoil the movie now. So if you haven't seen it, skip to this point in the video to avoid spoilers. 3, 2, 1, let's get into these spoilers.
Okay. So, like... there's a lot of, like, phone sex in this movie.
Yeah.
And the first one you get is insane.
Yeah, the first phone sex is insane because it's just like, grab that dead cat, beat the shit out of me with it.
Grab that dead cat beside the bed and, like, strangle me with it. And he's like... you can only see his face in this scene, and he looks like a shell-shocked veteran.
Yeah, you know that meme where it's like even like she was weirded the fuck out, or like that was literally him.
Yeah, like he's the degen over here on like the like single sexy awake people hotline, and he's like so weirded out by this. And then they get done, and she's like, "Okay, bye, good night." Like,
yeah, she just immediately leaves.
She's
he
like
wasn't
the
even done
loudest
coming
person
yet.
in the world for like 30 seconds, and then she's like, "Okay, bye." You're like, what?
Okay, bye. Yeah. What are your thoughts on the scene where Theodore and Scarlett have e-sex?
Dude, those are like the loudest scenes in the movie for no reason.
I want to like go back in time and just like see what it would have been like to see those scenes in theaters.
Dude,
Considering Good.
I don't know. I thought you were gonna say like when they were being recorded, and I was like, dude, it's literally just Scarlett Johansson in the like recording booth. It's just like
Yeah, she's just moaning. It is
okay,
interesting
we
though
can
how
go
that
take
scene
it
it like fades to black and then immediately just cuts to like a building, like a interior shot, exterior shot. No, fuck. Ugh! And it's just showing buildings.
yeah. Oh, also Scarlett Johansson's voice acting was great in this movie.
Yeah, I actually read that they originally had another actress to do it, but Spike Jonze was just like, I'm not really feeling it.
I'm not
So with
feeling
the
it.
permission of the, he just didn't really feel like it fully worked.
Yeah.
So he, with the permission of the actress, who is Samantha Morton, however, with their permission, she was replaced by Scarlett Johansson. Honestly, I would have been interested to see the other film with her in it because I find her to be a really underrated actress. She was really good in this one film called More Von Keller, where she gives a really subtle performance. But it's not like Scarlett Johansson was a bad trade. She was also really good. She was really good in the film.
She has like a really like bright like voice.
Yeah.
Like it's like a big like personality. She can convey a lot of personality through her voice.
Yeah, it's easy to see by her vocal performance why Joaquin.
She has a lot of voice acting.
I'm doing it again.
She's in a lot of voice acting roles.
She
can sing
including
really
in
good
the
too.
SpongeBob SquarePants movie.
Oh, wait, the first one? Okay,
Yeah.
Nice.
I actually read.
She's in both of the Sing movies. She's the hedgehog.
Of course she is.
No, Porcupine.
The hedgehog. She's Sonic,
She's
dude.
literally Sonic.
I actually read that during filming, they would lock Joaquin Phoenix and Amy Adams in a room for like an hour, and they would have to talk to each other. And apparently that helped get them to bond with each other more, and it makes sense.
They locked him in a room.
A rubber room.
No.
No.
They did have really good chemistry. I liked their scenes a lot. I liked Amy as a character.
Yeah,
She's
it's
so
really
real.
interesting to see them blossom because you originally see Amy. She's in a relationship with this one guy, and then they break
And
up.
screw that guy. He was so rude to her.
He was like the most like weird little guy.
Since this is my second time watching the movie, the whole time, like as soon as I saw him, and I was like, oh man, I can't wait till these guys break up. I can't wait till they get a divorce because I hate this guy.
Didn't you have a hot take you wanted to share that was spoiler related?
Oh, it's kind of related in that same vein. Honestly, I was glad whenever Samantha went away.
Yeah, that is
like
I mean,
second
yeah,
after the movie,
it's
she was so like weird and annoying. I was like, get her out of here.
Oh yeah, dude. The most like uncomfortable scene is when they had like that prostitute to like have like Samantha's voice.
Honestly, I like that scene because it was like I don't know, it was really interesting.
That scene is really
But it was,
really
like,
good, but it's also easily the most uncomfortable scene. Like there's some people who like consider like the e-sex scenes uncomfortable, which I get it, but that scene, like, oh
honestly,
god.
the e-sex ones were way more uncomfortable than the that one
I
because you're just sitting
personally
there and like
disagree,
listening to
but-
people moan and staring
I
at
get it, but
Joaquin Phoenix's face. And you're
but
like,
there's something about like the prostitute
Yeah.
scene where I'm just like, Jesus Christ, and like the argument they have afterwards
Yeah.
is just like,
it's like
wow.
neither of them's fault. But like,
well,
it's Samantha's fault completely. Actually,
I was gonna say.
I mean, like,
Samantha,
neither
she's
like the real people's fault.
fair, yeah. Oh yeah, the real people's fault.
Yeah, because Samantha's an AI.
And like, seeing the prostitute, like I forget what her name was in the movie, but like seeing her like actually like break down and like cry, it was like so like weird. Like, what the fuck do you even do in that situation?
He's like, oh no, I'm sorry, it's not me, it's you.
You just said it's not me, it's you, and that would have contradicted.
He's like, it's not you, it's me.
Well, you said it's not me, it's you.
Oh wait.
What were your I guess we can get more into like the ending itself because as you were talking about like you were glad that Samantha left.
Oh yeah.
I yeah. Once the one of my other favorite scenes around the end was when it was revealed that like Theodore and Samantha's relationship was not special whatsoever.
Yeah, that was crazy. But he still like loved her for a little bit. He was still like really sad whenever she like went away. It's like, bro,
Yeah,
she's not even been talking to you for like what's implied to be like what, a week or so, 2 weeks maybe.
yeah. Like the subway scene where she's like sitting there. I wonder what people were thinking as he was walking by. Although honestly, they probably weren't thinking much
Well,
because there's a
if you
lot of
notice, a
scenes
lot of
where
like whenever he's in public, a lot of the times, most of the other people are also on their headsets talking on the.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I was gonna say. That's what I was gonna say.
my bad.
It makes you really wonder about because this film is kind of like set in like a dystopia, like alternative, like in the future and stuff. Which honestly, I prefer films like this where it's more like subtle in how it's like dystopian rather than like the world is gonna stink and like we are these underground people and we're trying to get back society
Everything's dark
to
and
like its normal
cyberpunk, and there's
form.
headhunters coming for you because you broke the cyber laws of the higher up
Of having
elves.
feelings.
You had,
But
you had feelings
yeah,
for
yeah,
2 seconds and they caught you.
that's another where this film really leaves you like thinking like how many other people in this universe are like in this same situation like
It was becoming like
is
increasingly more
Theodore
common throughout the movie.
true that is yeah like you wonder is Theodore like a unique person or is he just like another person who is just desperate for
He's just
attention.
another mentally ill loner that society doesn't care about.
So all of Reddit.
Yeah, but those are
Dude, Reddit. If you made it, if you made this thing now, like every single person who uses Reddit would have it.
What do you get when you cross Reddit?
Where are you going with this?
What do you get when you cross a mentally ill loner with a society that doesn't care about him? In a relationship. Nothing else.
Yeah,
Very.
yeah, and with and honestly, the ending was really beautiful as well. Like the final scene where
Yeah.
Theodore's taking Amy to like that building and he's like writing a genuine like note for the first time.
Yeah. Whenever I can't remember if he comes over or if Amy comes over to his house.
He comes
He
over.
comes over. And she's just like, Samantha left too.
Yeah, because she had her
Yeah.
own little.
I thought that was a great scene though.
What was
She's
the
just like,
fucking?
yeah,
What was the
Samantha's supposed
fucking
to.
thing called?
It's
It had a name.
it's the operating system.
Yeah, I know that, but it didn't have like an actual name.
Well, OS for
Like,
sure.
it was like OS.
Yeah.
Maybe that was the
But
name.
that's just what you call it.
Okay.
That's just short for operating system.
Yeah, and
Like Windows.
yeah, the final shot of the film is really beautiful. This. Oh yeah, that's one thing I forgot to mention. The cinematography is so good in this movie.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful. Again, could have had a good chance, but Gravity was taking all the techie awards. So literally, Gravity took all of them.
Samantha did have some good moments. She picked out that dress for Theodore's goddaughter, and she talked to her, and that was fun.
Goddaughter.
That was a cute scene.
Yeah, it was a
Kinda
really
awkward.
cute scene.
But it was a cute scene.
Yeah, because Theodore's trying to explain Samantha to this poor like 8-year-old.
She's 4 actually.
Uh,
or maybe 5. No, she's 4.
I was only off by half.
Yeah. And then she asked Samantha how old she is, and she's like, "How old do you think I am?" And she's like, 5. It's like, whoa, hold on a minute. Your godfather's dating a 5-year-old. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Sweetie, you have to understand. This is what I feel.
This is what I feel.
What were your thoughts on like the scene where Theodore and his ex-wife like fully divorced with the actress Rachel McAdams?
There's like a lot of emotions in that scene, cause like it's Rachel McAdams.
Yeah.
She's not in
Man.
the movie.
Imagine being that. I thought wasn't the actress Rachel
No,
McAdams?
it's
Or am I-
Rooney Mara. I haven't heard of her, but they do look
Mhm.
similar.
I thought it was okay. I have to mention apparently. Imagine being that poor like waitress.
Dude, that was a great scene. She's like, "Alright, well, let me know if you need anything."
Can you? I bet she like went back
After
to the
Catherine
kitchen and was just like
trauma
girls.
dumped on her for no reason, she's like, "Alright, let me know if you need anything." It's like, bro.
Man, man,
Except for Will.
yeah yeah. If there's one thing, like my only criticism with the movie, and it's a really like me criticism. This isn't like a film, the film's fault. It's more just a me thing.
Yeah.
I find films like this to be really like a lot to take in, so I can't give it a perfect like 10 out of 10 score because I find it like I don't fully understand it to like fully give it that 10 out of 10 score.
That's fair.
There's been plenty of other films where I felt that way. For example, that film we watched, Possession.
Oh yeah. that's that's a movie where you have to like sit there
that film
and
is
think
really
about
good.
it for like a couple of days and be like, okay.
Okay, I understand the basic
it
plots now.
and then you tell me
Yeah.
it's a metaphor for divorce, and I'm like, wait a minute, okay, I gotta give me a couple more days.
Wait, hold on. Wait,
So
hold on.
so he's okay.
I'm trying to think of other things to talk about spoiler
But
related
yeah,
for her.
I thought that scene was really good because like Catherine is kind of like, I don't know, she seems very friendly with him, but like maybe they could get along, and then he goes on talking about his AI girlfriend after she just made a point that he wouldn't let her be her own person, and it's like, bro,
so I got
how do you
this
fumble so
fictional
bad?
pussy.
How do you fumble a divorce so bad?
That is an accomplishment.
You could have kept it like friendly.
Just like, hey, yeah, we had our faults. Oh, by the way, I'm like having e-sex with like a fictional.
Yeah, I got this new app on my phone. Yeah, it lets me flirt with Lola Bunny.
Lola Bunny! That would be so fucking stupid.
It lets me flirt with
Okay.
the Black Widow from Marvel. And he's like, oh, okay. Your celebrity
Dude,
crush.
oh god. I hate that you can actually say that and it makes sense.
Yeah, I was like, Lola Bunny.
Do you want to get into our final thoughts on the film?
Yeah, although I did have a few. We never really get into like the ending part. Well, like, not ending part, but like the start, like the second. Okay, there's just like a scene, like whenever they first argue, like him and Samantha, the phone. She's like doing this thing in between her sentences where she like takes a breath. And then he's like, why are you doing that? You don't need to breathe. You're not a person.
Yeah. There's a lot of scenes where like there's a lot of contradicting, but it doesn't feel like it's like lazily written.
Yeah,
it's just kind of like Theodore's just
makes sense because if it's an AI that has all this brain power to just learn everything it can, it's gonna learn that people do that, and it's gonna be more realistic and do that. But also, she was like happing it up like she was trying to like be more of a person or something in that scene. He's like, you're not a person. You're just like, you just told your girlfriend that she's not a person. Even though she's not. That's like.
Literally, she's not. But was there any other thing you wanted to mention?
Doesn't that make it weirder for him?
Yeah. It's so fucking bizarre.
I don't know. That's about it. She got it really annoying to me.
Yeah, Samantha was
always
a very
talking with the other
for
AI and dating other people.
For how unloyal she was extremely clingy.
Yeah, she was so clingy and so unloyal.
Like, how do you do that?
Like, why are we dating every day?
Why aren't we having sex?
He's like, okay, well, if you were a smarter AI, you would Google and find out that
Dude,
the
this movie would have been so different if Theodore was asexual.
Well, then the AI probably would be too.
Yeah.
I guess technically it is, because it really doesn't feel emotions.
All
So I
right.
can't like feel
You
attracted
got
to
any?
anybody, but yeah, that's about
You got
it.
anything else you'd like to mention? All right. So let's get into our overall thoughts. Overall, I find her to be a very, very engaging film. It's very well written and well directed. It looks beautiful. A lot of the technical aspects are really great. It's a film that really leaves you thinking afterwards, but not like in a very pretentious way. Well, I don't know if that fully makes sense, but
Yeah,
uh,
surprisingly
but yeah,
accurate.
this
2025 for 2013.
yeah. And overall, even though this film is very, very heavy, I really found it extremely engaging. Do you have anything else you like to add?
On to what you said. I
Or
don't
just like
know. It's
anything
like
in general?
I really, really like it, and I think that like
Would you say this was more of a interesting rewatch than watching it for the first time? Like you picked up more on it on a second rewatch?
yeah, cause like whenever I watched it the first time, I was in high school, so this is like I feel like I have more movie watching.
Perspective.
Yeah, perspective now.
I think overall I would give this film a 9 out of 10, but I feel like on a second watch it could be potentially a 10, although I'm not going to fully commit to that because I don't know.
I also feel like it's better if you when you watch the movie, if you watch it as if you don't watch it as a romance.
That's fair. Yeah. It's more of a character study than a romance.
Yeah,
What would you give it out of 10?
I'd give it a 9 out of 10. 9.5
9
out
out
of
of
10.
10. 2 nines. 9.5. Alright. Getting all decimals on ya. I see how it is.
Every single
Alright.
time I'm like, I'm gonna stop with the decimals.
No, it's fine. I don't really care. As long as you're not like one of those people that's like, I'm gonna give this
I'm gonna
film
give it
a
9.75.
8.3.25. Yeah. Like, if it's just like 9.5 or something, I don't care.
Yeah.
Now let's jump into a film with a total whiplash in tone. My
I love it
pick,
equally as
to
much.
Wong Foo, thanks for everything, Julie Newmar. This was my pick. This is directed by Biben Kidron, and this was released in 1995. This follows after a drag queen finals. Two drag queens. I gotta get the names.
Noxima Jackson and Vita. Vita.
That I remember Vita, but I couldn't remember how to pronounce it.
Vita Boheme.
Vita and Noxima, they won in a tie, and afterwards they see another drag queen, Chi Chi, and they decide to tag her along to just feelings of how they were when they were in the dumps, and they decide to invite her to a competition in California. They decide to go via a car, but after 40 minutes in, the car suddenly breaks down, and they're forced to stay in a small town during the weekend while it gets repaired. During that time, they shake the small town into unfathomable. I don't know how to fully end it, so I'm just going to say they just shake the new town in ways you wouldn't expect. And I thought this film was really, really enjoyable.
They
It's interesting to
yassify the
see how
town.
this. There we go. That's what it is. They ossified it.
And they slay all over the place.
And I thought this film was very, very enjoyable. And I really enjoyed my time. What did you think, Mac?
I thought it was great. I didn't expect it to go in the direction it did. I thought it was gonna be like a silly road trip, but it was really fun.
Road trip with the boys or girls or they thems. Okay, so I'm gonna be honest. Out of the three main rules, I don't know how to pronounce the two of them. So I have how to pronounce on there. That way I don't fucking because you already saw me. I couldn't pronounce
Noxima.
Yeah, Noxima and other stuff.
Other
Uh,
stuff.
other things. I'm just really bad at pronouncing in general.
It's alright.
I think the obvious thing that makes this film really fun is just the main trio of characters. Vita, Naxima, and Chi-Chi. They're all really great in their own ways, and honestly, the performances are really incredible. I really loved Wesley Snipes' performances. I've only seen him in the first two Blade films, but I can probably tell this is honestly probably my favorite performance of his. Hold on, give me a second. There we go. I think this could be my favorite performance of John Leguizamo, who played Chi-Chi. I've seen him in a couple of stuff, but I feel like he really committed to the character in this film.
He passed really well. I was like, what the heck?
Honestly, dude, like genuinely, out of the three, I was just like, damn, they went hard as fuck.
Wait a minute, that's just John Leguizamo.
That's a dude actor. That's a dude playing that. And Patrick
Swayze.
Hold on.
Rest in peace.
Swayze, yeah. Oh, I didn't
Sorry,
realize he
I
died.
put that in my Yeah.
He did. I haven't seen him in a lot, but he did also
Have
did
you
a
seen The
really
Outsiders?
good job.
She's in that.
No, but I have seen him
Years at home.
in Donnie Darko.
Oh yeah, he's in Tony Darko.
Yeah. They all do a really good job performing the characters, and I love how this film wasn't afraid to like explore like they're not perfect, but they don't deserve any of the shit that happens to them.
Yeah.
Because like there's a lot of scenes where they just like bitch and argue at each other, and then like immediately afterwards they just like make up.
Yeah. I wonder if John did like voice training for this movie.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. Apparently,
Voices were really good.
the character.
Everybody-
Apparently, the actor, he said that like because of his character Chi-Chi, a lot of kids were able to feel more comfortable coming out as trans to their
wow.
parents. Like they called them up about it. So that's pretty cool. It's honestly really interesting watching this film, considering the timeline of it. Because I'm not gonna act like there was no like LGBTQ movies or like films starring like having the LGBTQ characters as the main focus, but like it was definitely not common back in 1995. This was definitely not like a thing you'd see like often.
Yeah, I saw
like,
when the movie was
nowadays.
made, and I was like, oh, it's gonna be like a goofy comedy where they make a few jokes about it, and it was actually like a really heartwarming movie, and I was like, okay, dang.
Like it actually like was respectful.
Yeah, I was really surprised.
What do you want to say something about the film in particular, Mac? I've been kind of talking about it.
Are we in like the general discussion now, or?
Yeah, the general discussion, spoiler-free stuff.
I will say, spoiler free, why was Noxima so racist to Chi-Chi for no reason, bro? For like
Look at their
half
shirt
the
running
movie,
away, she's like, he's
just,
gonna
like,
cross the
calling her
border.
slurs and stuff, and I was like, what?
She, I don't know, dude.
And then she's like, wait, maybe we can't all just get along and be besties.
I don't know, honestly.
I really liked it. I really liked Vita. She was a
Naxima.
great character.
Oh, Anita, she's like the what? She's like the.
Vita. Patrick Swayze's
Oh, Vita.
character.
I thought you said Vita. Yeah, Vita was great as well.
Yeah. Cause she just wants like what she can't get at home. She just wants to like make things better for everyone else.
Yeah, and you get to see why she feels this way.
Yeah.
The film never, like with her, the film never like force feeds it like why she feels to do this. The film more like spoon
We're not
feeds
spoon-fed
it.
like little babies. Here comes the plane.
Yeah.
They give us a little
It's
bit.
more.
and
It's more
yeah.
like you get a little sprinkle, like, oh, that's why.
Like, yeah. And then people go on Twitter and
I
they're
also
like,
think-
why doesn't Vita have a
Why?
relationship with her mom? Did you watch the movie, bro?
Yeah. Why didn't they show any Jews in the zone of interest? I've heard that so many times. Getting back on track. This is also a film where it's surprisingly really well directed. Like it's a lot better, a very well directed film, more better than I was expecting. Not that I was expecting this film to have very flat direction, but there's a lot of times where how they presented scenes was really unique and interesting. I particularly think about the dance scene and how that was directed.
Oh yeah.
It just does a spin around until we get all the way up with the main trio.
Yeah, that was a really good scene. I like the camera work.
Yeah. Yeah. Spinning up and down,
Yeah.
up and down. Well, around, not up and down. It would have been different. It would have been really different if it was up and down.
I really like the set design of this movie too. It was like, it felt like it was actually like lived in. It felt like a real, like tiny town with like a trailer park in the back.
I love the costume design in this movie, and the makeup and hairstyling. Okay, listen. If this film wasn't like unknown at the time it would have came out, this film would have easily got a nomination for like best like makeup and hairstyling.
Yeah.
Like there's no, because it got so ignored. I think like the Golden Globes was the only one that recognized this film's existence. Even then,
oh, wow.
They just gave it a couple like
kind of surprising because of the
performance
big
nominations
names in this movie.
Yeah, I love the trailer where they're just like, Wesley Snipes is an action hero, but he's now going to take his bravest role yet.
Honestly, it was a really brave role for the time. But good for him.
Yeah, actually,
Wesley Snipes said,
I've heard.
Get rats.
Go ahead.
That was it. He said.
I've heard that. I have heard though, like that actually getting into the costumes and like doing all like the stuff to make it as good as it looks. It took so long, but by the time they were done with it, they downright just burned all the clothes because they were so sick and tired of wearing it.
There were a lot of costumes for them in this movie.
I think, yeah, there was a lot. I also think there was
like
also another actor.
It's like,
there was another actor they had for one of the drag queens, Gary Oldman.
Oh wow!
And but he had to turn it down because he was in Francis Ford Coppola's Dracula movie, and he was like, if I sit through another movie with a lot of like makeup, I'm going to lose my fucking mind. He didn't directly say that, but that's from what I heard.
Gary Oldman was serious black in Harry Potter. Nice. So he can rock the long hair.
Yeah. I love Chris Penn's character, the cop. He's hilarious.
I'm gonna be so honest with you. I saw the cop, and I thought that he was, oh shoot, wait, hold on. What is this?
I feel like I know who you're talking about.
I thought that he was Jonah Hill.
Jonah Hill. That would have been a very different look if it was Jonah Hill in 1995.
He's also a little too old to be Jonah Hill in 1995.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, I was like, this is a freaking guy.
Like he was playing a high schooler in 2006 and 2007 when he accepted in Superbad.
Yeah, that's true.
I think also what makes this film really like accessible is that the film. I think what made this film such a cool classic is that it's able to combine like, yeah, these characters have their tragedy, but also it's able to be like a really fun movie as well. Not to say that like you shouldn't focus exclusively on tragedy, especially for like LGBTQ characters, but like this film is able to be like, okay, we can have tragedy, but we also want to have some fun, okay? Oh, like, we can say that Vita has had a tragic past, but also look at like Noxima like grabbing a guy's balls and like to like actually like properly like rape ladies. That was also a really good scene. If you like my nails, boom, just immediate grab. If I were a woman, I would use that tactic.
You can still use it. I mean,
I mean, I don't really know. I mean, my nails are pretty basic, but
grow them out. I can do that. I got long nails.
I think my main criticism with the film is just that like certain aspects of the story felt a bit underdeveloped. I think to get into like one that's not like very spoiler heavily, because it's not like a big, it's more like a B plot in the film. The whole like love triangle. I kind of felt like by the end, it just kind of felt very underdeveloped.
Oh yeah, and
About
he's like, okay, I'm just gonna go with this like 15-year-old.
yeah, never properly explained at all. It felt like it could have had more to it. And there's certain other things about this film that feels like very like, okay, this could have used a scene or more in it to like properly get the proper explanation. Not like you need to explain like every single thing in the film, but just a few more like scenes would have helped me certain things make more sense.
Yeah.
Dude, if there's one thing I could say now, you could not make this movie now because conservatives would have fucking like gotten so pissed off about this movie, because it's a movie supporting drag queens, but it's also a very like, maybe not very, like a heavily feminist movie.
They would have loved the intro though, where RuPaul is wearing is wearing like a rebel flag dress.
Yeah.
And it was
Dude,
like, what?
what were your
Like,
what did you think about
girl.
the Robin Williams cameo?
Oh yeah, so I was like, wait a minute, that's Robin Williams with like, yeah, I like that.
He's actually uncredited in the film, so
Oh
you
really?
he yeah,
Oh.
but like he's Robin Williams, so it's easy to tell.
It's a credit, but it's Robin Williams. Oh
Honestly,
yeah,
it's cool that he's in this movie. I just want to shout him out because he was good friends with the actor Nathan Lane. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Uh, they did a movie together or something, and apparently during the time there was a time where they were both going to go on the Oprah Winfrey show,
Mhm.
and in case you don't know the actor Nathan Lane,
Lane.
he is a gay. He's gay. Lane,
Yeah.
whatever. He's a gay actor, but at the time he was very like closeted. He didn't want to mention it to anybody. Well, maybe not closeted is the right word. He just didn't want to talk about it with
He
most
wasn't like
people. It's
like out.
open,
Yeah.
or out. And he talked to Robin Williams about it because apparently, like in the Oprah Winfrey show, I don't fully remember the story, but apparently it was gonna like there was gonna be like a segment where they talked about like the Lane sexuality, because I think the film they started had to do with like gay couples or something. I don't know. I don't fully remember. And like he talked to Robin Williams about it. Like, I don't feel comfortable talking about it. Robin Williams was just like, okay, we won't talk about it. So he like went out of his way to make sure, like, at the time, like, Lane would have been fine. Before it was more like, okay, you could say that you're gay and you won't get immediately hate crimes. That's like very unrelated to any thing with this movie. I just thought that was cool, and plus he's in the movie. So one thing that's really interesting about this movie is, despite what the plot is about, you don't see him go into the town until like 40 minutes into the movie. Like,
Yeah.
they take their sweet time.
Well, they come in at night, so it's like it makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is like interesting.
Okay, one spoiler-free thing I want to mention, because we can expand this further into like the spoiler-related thing. This is also a hilarious movie. This film is
so
really funny. It mainly has to do with like line delivery and stuff. We mentioned the nail scene. That scene's hilarious. There's honestly Naxima
The
was
scene
just
with the
and
cop.
Chi Chi.
It's really funny.
Oh yeah, the scene with the cop is hilarious.
Like, or I guess like
Any
the
scene
scenes with the cop where he's just like trying to find.
He had like a
ladies.
note. Had a note of like top 5 places gays would be at.
He's going past like the ballerinas that are like 9 years old, and he's comparing the shoe to their like tiny little feet.
Yeah.
It's like he has like the sketch shot out, and it's like,
One of
you
them will
know
fit.
what she looks like. Why do you need your bad sketch?
But besides that, I think we can get to more like spoiler stuff.
Okay.
If you don't have anything you'd like to mention.
Uh, No, I'd put it on the spoilers, I guess.
All right, to everyone listening, we're going to spoil to Wong Foo. I'm not going to say the full title because you've already heard it.
So long.
We're gonna. It's a very long title. We're going to get into spoilers now. So if you don't want to be spoiled about To Wong Foo, skip to this timeline right now. Besides that, let's get into spoilers. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom. Spoiler time.
Ooh, we're in the spoilers. Dude, okay. All the scenes with Noxima and Clara, the really old lady, are like so good.
They're so good.
Turns out Clara doesn't just like not talk because she can't. She doesn't talk because like, I don't know, I guess she just doesn't want to.
See, this movie was going to work with me because it's a movie about the power of movies bringing us together, so...
Yeah. Nobody ever talked to her about movies, I guess.
Yeah. Dude, I'm going to be honest. Okay, so you know that scene at the bar where the homophobic cop, Dolan, I think that's his name?
Dullard.
Sure.
Oh,
Dullard.
his name is actually Dollard, but everybody calls him Dullard because it's his badge. And he is pretty
Dollard.
stupid, so he's a bit of a dullard, you know?
Yeah. Okay, so you know how I was talking about like men in dresses and all that stuff?
Yeah.
With the way he was delivering that, he was just like, shit, I want some of that too. And then like the wife beater walked in, and the way they were looking at each other, I was like, wait a minute. We better get what I think we're about to get, but it didn't happen at all.
This big buff hot lady came to my house and beat me up. Really
I genuinely thought they were gonna start like making out with each other. I don't know why. I genuinely
come
don't
back
know.
into town holding hands.
that would have been really
Torture.
funny. Okay, to get into like, if there's one scene I really love, I love the scene where like we see like Vita's house. If there's one thing I really love about this scene is when we see like Vita's mother come out and they like have that exchange of staring at each other,
yeah.
and I love how like weird and like fast the zoom in is on. It's like a very like quick and like shaky, and it immediately like sets the tone of how like rocky the relationship has been. And like legit, that's all you needed. You didn't need like a flashback about like, oh, my mom was like some like fucking homophobe and shit like that. That's legit all you needed.
Yeah, you kind of like get the context clues, and it's like, okay, yeah. And that's why
what were your thoughts?
To New York was a good option.
What were your thoughts on the big argument scene, like the one that kind of ends with Vita's wig falling off?
Oh yeah, I thought that was a really good scene, cause it's like, you know, the whole time they're trying to like not out themselves and have these people that they think will hate them.
Yeah.
But then it's like, okay, whatever.
Honestly, I kind of forgot there was a whole like, oh, the town doesn't know we're drag queens. Shit, fuck.
Oh wait, the argument scene between the queens. Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought like, cause you know, Vita is only trying to like help people, but she doesn't realize that sometimes she just have to like sit back and let other people handle it. Not in that situation though, because I mean, a dude was like beating his wife.
He was beating the shit out of her.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel like I was kind of slow because I didn't realize until the scene when they're all in the kitchen hanging out that little girl, what's her name?
A girl.
That little blonde girl that dated the guy that Chi-Chi was into. I didn't realize that was Carol Ann's daughter the whole time. I thought she was just a random girl from the neighborhood.
Just some random ass
lady. And then
lady.
she was in their house, and I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
So she just hears this all the time.
And trying to like. I had something in my head, but I genuinely forgot about it. So I'll just move on to the other
Okay.
like second thing. What were your thoughts on the final act when the sheriff rolled into town?
Dude, I said to Robbie, because I was just Robbie. I said to
Yeah.
him, I was like, I bet this is gonna be an I am Spartacus situation where they're all like, no, I'm the drag queen. And it was, and I was like, let's go. I really like
Let's
that.
go.
I was just like, oh, it's me. Even like the dudes who were even
Oh,
dressed up at all, they were just like, yep, it's me.
yep, I got the shoe. Give it to me.
That
Come
one
on.
guy, the guy that worked the restaurant, oh shoot.
The black guy.
Yeah, the black guy, he was dating that like really white haired lady. He was really funny. He's like, yeah, it's me.
Yeah, I never asked how that watch experience went with you and Robbie. Was there any particular scenes you guys just like lost it or had to pause or anything funny in
We
particular?
lost it at that scene when that guy was like, he got real like fruity with him. I don't know.
Yeah,
um.
I just thought there was. Oh, God.
Oh, the scene where they were all like, the like girls' day thing that they did, whenever
Yeah.
um they go to the general like to like guy's clothing store and they go find all the 60s
Yeah.
stuff. We were like, we love that scene.
Yeah.
And then Vita
What was
gives
Robbie's thoughts on the
Billy that
ball
book,
grab?
the store owner, the book, and he gets like really into it, and we're like, yeah, he's converted.
Ooh, he's not studying anymore. What was Robbie's thoughts on the ball grab scene?
I think he kind of lost it. He was like, what? He got him. Yeah.
Do you like my nails?
I don't think he's expecting it. But he liked
Yeah.
it.
I'd imagine he would have wheezed at that moment.
Yeah.
That just sounds like something he would find
He's like, he's
hilarious.
still grabbing him. She
Man,
grabs him
I-
for like so long. She's
Yeah,
just,
like, I'm
gripping
surprised
him.
he was
It's
still,
like,
like-
how was he not, like,
I'm
passing
surprised
out?
he was fine after that.
And then
like,
he's just
maybe he wasn't
he's
fine,
just like,
but-
okay, thank you. Whenever she lets go, he's like, okay.
Yeah, like that. Honestly, if that happened to me, I would go to like the nearest like woman rights movement I could, like just to avoid any of that happening to me again.
Rip her nipple off.
Oh, I need that. Oh, dude. Okay, I
thought it
remember
was
what it
so
was.
funny,
That
though.
speech.
that
Go ahead.
the like wife beater husband, he was all like, "Huh, what's she gonna do whenever Vita comes in to like beat him up?" And it's like, okay, you can't see her like ginormous muscle arms. You think that you're gonna
Yeah, I
win
was gonna
this fight?
say
Like, are
she
you
was
stupid?
she was
Are
like
you
the
dumb?
most ripped.
Yeah.
She was like the most ripped out of the three. Yeah.
Yeah, they have Patrick Swayze
And
and Wesley Snipes, and they're both like.
I
ripped in
love
this
the
movie.
I love the chemistry between Carol and Vita. It was
Yeah.
honestly had some of the sweetest scenes in the movie. And honestly, during that scene where Carol's like, "I know you're a drag queen, but I don't fucking care."
Yeah. She's like, I don't care because you're my best friend.
Yeah.
But it's also kind of
Like, that-
sad.
that
'cause
was-
It's like, wow, Carol's never had like a best friend before either.
Yeah. And honestly, I guess it's like one thing I also forget about the film. I always forget there's like, oh god, like I already mentioned this earlier, but like I genuinely forget like, oh yeah, they don't know they're drag queens because I just genuinely like forgot that was just the thing because they barely mention it that much.
If Chi-Chi
like,
walked
a
up
few
to me on the
scenes.
street, I'd be like, "Yo, what's up, girl?"
Yeah, it like Chi. If I saw Chi-Chi, I'm like, okay, that's definitely a woman.
Yeah.
Okay. This sounds really bad though. Because we're just like, okay, the other two look like men, but this one looks like a woman.
No, if I saw the other two, I'd be like, "That's a woman that can pick me up."
Yeah, that's a woman that can lift. It was. I do like how the story ended with. Not only I love that speech where like Carol was just like, I don't think of you as a man or a woman, but as an angel,
But as a what?
and but as an angel.
Oh yeah.
Uh, and I feel like it made sense perfectly in the narrative to have Chi Chi be the winner of like
Yeah, that was the best part,
uh
even though her wig was so ugly.
even though she looked ugly as fuck.
Like, they gave everyone else has like a perfect wig, and they gave her the most like ugly wig ever, and they're like, it
Yeah.
looks like
And then
like
Jolie Newmar
in like
appears
a
at the
Disney
end.
Channel show, whenever a girl has to like pretend to be a boy at school or like at school to like hang out with like the guys or whatever. So she puts on this like
Chi
really bad
stars in
wig. That's what she's wearing in this scene.
Chi Chi just stars in the movie She's the Man.
Yeah, she puts that wig
That
on.
movie, I bet that movie would have been like a 10 out of 10 if it did star Chi Chi. Not even like the actor who plays Chi Chi.
Chi in her life, she becomes real.
Chi Chi's real.
She's
Oh,
real.
that's one thing I forgot to mention. That's one thing I forgot about a fun fact. Apparently, like John Leguizamo did like so much like improv, which makes sense considering how much lines. But like it got to the point where Patrick got so pissed off. Apparently, he tried to punch him. I don't fully know the details, but I don't know if that's a lie. But apparently, that's what I read. Like apparently, he got so pissed off at the improv, he was just like, "Okay, I'm gonna punch the shit out of this guy." Oh god. I'm trying to think of other things. Is there something you'd like to mention?
Um, no, that's like.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm also blank too.
Oh, the like scene where they all come out and confront the cop. Like the reveal, there's actually Carol Ann in that dress was like crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, I love
Carol Ann ate that scene up. Like the whole
dude. That's another scene where like I love after like that conflict is resolved, like that look that Carol and her abusive husband gave. Again, another example of the film like being able to tell enough to the point where it's just like, okay, I know exactly what these characters are thinking, despite them neither saying a word to each other.
Yeah, it's all in the face.
Yeah, it's all in the face. Do you want to get into our final thoughts?
Yeah.
If you don't have anything. Alright, so we are done with spoilers. Overall, to Wong Foo, thanks for everything, Julie Newmar. It's a very, very enjoyable, entertaining film. It's easy to see why this is considered a cult classic. It's not perfect. It has some messy aspects about the story, and the writing could have been better. But its overall film, I could easily find myself rewatching. And yeah, I had a good time. You want to say anything, Mac?
I thought it was like really good. It was like, I don't know, like the comedy was there, the heartfelt like story part was there. It dropped my phone.
What did you just drop? Okay.
It had everything, like great cast. Everybody was like perfect.
Yeah. I'm thinking of giving this film a 7 out of 10.
I think, honestly, it's like an 8.
That's fair. So a 7 and an 8. Now look at me, I'm so negative. Oh god. Oh my god. Alright. So, we have concluded the movie discussion. Do you want to ask each other a question before we get into the outro next film picks?
Alright. What's a movie that's not supposed to be a comedy, but is basically like a comedy to you?
Okay, I'm trying to think, because there's definitely easy answers for that, but I want to try to be different. I don't know why. Immediately, as soon as you asked that question, my mind went to like free birds, free birds, free birds.
Free Birds, the animated one?
Yeah.
That is a comedy.
Well, there's also serious points in that film.
Yeah,
but it's like, what the fuck?
It's been a kids' comedy.
Okay, I have an answer. There's this 2001 film called I Am Sam, It's about a like a mentally
Oh,
disabled
it's about the
guy.
son of Sam Killer?
No, it's not about a serial killer.
My bad.
A mentally disabled guy who has the IQ of a 7-year-old. That's what they actually say in the movie.
Dang.
Trying to fight custody of his daughter that he's supporting by himself. He's a single parent. The film is so fucking cheesy, and like there's so many like unintentionally hilarious scenes. There's like a scene. It mainly just has to do with the fact that they got Sean Penn to like play the actor, and it just felt like a movie where it's just like, oh, look at him, he's so brave playing this mentally disabled guy that he's not mentally disabled at all. he actually got an Oscar. He actually got an Oscar nomination for this performance, and when I watched it, I'm like, really, fucking really. Like this performance is not good at all. It just if you didn't give it like the extra like flavor of it being like an actor playing a mentally disabled guy. Which, listen, regardless of your thoughts on that, because there's actors who can actually do that really good. I remember apparently
literally Forrest Gump.
Yeah, Forrest Gump, and I heard that Daniel Day-Lewis did a really good job playing this mentally disabled guy in a wheelchair called My Left Foot. But that performance was awful. It was so bad, and there's so many funny scenes in the film, and it's so cheesy and dumb. Oscar-nominated film. If Denzel Washington would have lost for Training Day for that performance, I would have actually went into a gorilla. Like I would have lost my fucking mind.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
Yeah, because Denzel Washington. I can't fucking speak. I called him Daniel twice.
So you just whitewashed Denzel Washington with the
No. Wait. Denzel Washington. That's definitely an Oscar-worthy performance. Although, yeah, but I'm gonna go with I Am Sam. Do you have an answer for that?
Dang, I was trying to think, and then I kind of just ended up listening to you. It's gotta be some like horror movie. I just know it.
We watched Wish Upon. That was pretty funny.
We did? Wish Upon?
It was the one about with Joey King and that wish box. You know, the 7 wishes, 7 people die. It was like the Ring ripoff.
Oh yeah, we did watch that.
To be fair, we spent most of the time questioning how.
Movie.
But that's because we spent most of the time going like, wait, how does this even fucking work?
Yeah.
We didn't we weren't even paying attention to the movie.
That movie was it was so bad that it was funny. That's
did you have? Yeah, but that probably would have been your full answer though.
If I remembered that movie existed, it definitely would have been.
Okay, if Mac remembers, put the name up right now.
Oh, I thought you do the visuals.
That's what I mean.
Oh.
I'm putting a note for myself. Boy,
wait, if I remember what? I meant that if I remembered this movie existed.
Remember the name. Remember
Upon?
the name. Not Wish Upon, the movie you were trying to figure out the name of.
No, I couldn't think of one. I was trying to think of one.
Oh, you couldn't. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think we are on. I think we're not understanding each other. Yeah. Don't edit that out, because that's really funny. Okay, so I gotta think of a question. What is a film that you remember solely because of the cinematography?
Oh, okay, dang. All I can think of right now is Her, but I remember it because of like the coloring.
I honestly thought you were gonna say another answer, but I'm not gonna say it in case you do think of it.
I feel like that's the most noteworthy thing in Oppenheimer to say.
Oppenheimer does have really good cinematography.
But I know there's movies with much better cinematography.
Oppenheimer has really good cinematography, although I'm going to be the little bitch and be like, poor things deserve it more. I think it's hard for me to have a pinpoint answer because there's a lot of films that are like beautifully shot. Even films that I didn't care for, they have really good cinematography in it. But if I have to think of one right now, I'm thinking of the film.
Sorry.
Zodiac does that. Zodiac is really well shot. I was gonna say Punch Drunk Love. The way that film plays with lighting and coloring is like it just makes me remember it in general. And there's a lot of times where the way they present scenes is so beautiful, and it's just a beautiful looking movie. God, I need to show like everybody I know that movie. Punch Drunk Love is so good. It's like one of my favorite movies ever that I think is genuinely accessible, even though the fact it's a really weird movie.
Yeah.
Like out of all the films that are like my favorite film in my ranking list, Requiem for a Dream, The Piano Teacher, and Punch Drunk Love, I would call Punch Drunk Love the most easily accessible. The Piano Teacher is definitely particular on your taste, and Requiem for a Dream is a very, very miserable movie.
Yeah, isn't it like a bunch of like drug addicts and like mentally ill people? Like that's the movie.
Yeah.
I've heard it is really good though. Okay, new answer, Midsummer.
But yeah, Midsummer is really good. I honestly thought you were gonna say La La Land.
La La Land? Oh yeah, it does sound really good. I wouldn't remember it solely like for that though.
That is fair. You probably remember for the ending and Emma Stone.
The whole thing, the music. Oh man, I love that movie so much.
Yeah.
Honorable mention to Strangers. I don't think it's like groundbreaking like cinematography or anything, but like the atmosphere.
But it just sticks with you.
Within the shots is like really good.
The best shot is in the poster, though.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now on Letterboxd, and he's just there. And that is just like a shot from the movie.
Yeah. All right. We got our little questions done. Again, if there's anybody out there that wants to ask us questions, you're free to do it in the comments.
Yeah.
So
time to
why don't we?
movies?
Yeah, it's time to get our movie picks in. You're telling me, you told me this, Mac, that you really want to watch this film together for your pick.
Yeah, because I just want everybody to watch it together. I think that would be fun, because it's like
All right.
a movie that I've watched many a time, but it's been like 10 years since I watched it again.
Do you want to go first with your pick?
Sure. The Fox and the Hound, Disney animated movie.
Okay. All right. I've never seen it. I haven't seen a lot of.
I thought this was a possibility.
I haven't seen a lot of old Disney movies.
It came out in 1981. It's older than my mom by a year. That's cool. Corey Feldman is Copper. Cool. That's crazy.
Nice.
It's
all right.
Really
the Fox
good.
and the Hound is.
If you want good music, good like everything. Fox and the Hound. Man.
Just good. All right, so that leads to me.
It has the only anti-hero like in the like a Disney animated movie. Really.
Disney movie.
Okay, what's your pick? I'll make your pick.
All right, so I juggled between a couple of these. And, okay, so I have a film pick, but I also want you to do a little side homework with it as well. I'm going to explain that. So this is a film written, directed, produced, starring, and composed by the same guy, Vincent Gallo, and I'm recommending the film Buffalo 66. I've heard that film is very weird and
heard of that.
Interesting.
I feel like you mentioned it before.
Yeah, and I feel like it could be a very interesting pick, discussion, whatever. God. And for the side homework, I want you to just look up about Vincent Gallo, because he is one of the most weirdest people to like learn about anyone who's entered the film industry.
I'm looking at him and I believe it. Like I'm
just
looking
by
at this
looking at
picture
him
of him and Christina Ricci from the movie, and he looks insane. He's like staring into the camera like an insane person.
Yeah. So that's gonna be the picks. Buffalo 66 and the Fox and the Hound. Very different picks.
Yeah.
One for kids and one for adults. So there's.
I feel like
there's
I've heard controversial things about this movie. Or maybe
I mean,
about
it's probably
him.
to do with the fact that it's Vincent Gallo.
Maybe it's about this guy.
All right. So, you want to get into just ending the podcast, the outro?
Yeah, we'll end this thing.
Alright, so thank you all for listening, my friends. This was a really pretty particular long podcast. This was easily the longest we've done it, which is not a big deal. It's just me pointing it out. This was fun, though. It was fun to talk about small things about the Oscars. Her and To Wong Foo were really fun times to watch. Although Her's not really a fun movie. It's more like a depressing movie, but whatever.
Yeah.
And overall, it was a good time, and I'm excited to get into the 5th episode. You want to say anything, Mac?
I had a fun time discussing these movies. They were both like really good picks, even though they were pretty different. I feel like that's every time, except for Elvis and Priscilla. We always have very different picks.
Yeah.
One of us has something just like depressing.
And the other is just like, oh, I want to recommend like Boss Baby.
Boss Baby, and then
Dude, there's so many people trying to
recommendation
gaslight
is
me
like,
into thinking Solo
Hostel.
and I was gonna say Solo or the 120 Days of
I'm
Sodom.
not watching that for the podcast.
That's fair. Okay.
It's actually
Dude,
just
there's so many people trying to gaslight me into like thinking Boss Baby's a good movie, and I don't know
I'd
why.
rather watch Boss Baby than that one.
I mean, that's fair.
Literally, Alec Baldwin is a baby in that movie. It's great. And they sing Blackbird by the Beatles. And that's the best part
Blackbird.
of the movie.
Alright, well,
Oh,
thank you all for
Throwing
listening.
stuff.
And Mac just dropped everything. You should take that as a sign to like and subscribe, okay? So that way we don't do it again.
I went to sit something down and I just flung it out of my hand.
Just throw it against the wall.
I threw it against my computer.
Alright. Thank you all for listening to this, and we'll see you in a month from now. This is probably going to be uploaded by April at this point, which is not a huge deal.
Yeah.
Alright. Adios.
Bye.
Oh god. Oh.